Welcome back to Alpha Nutrition TV. I'm your host. First, I'm going to start off with a superset of a cable row, pulling right towards my belly button to help hit those lats and rhomboids. Trying to sit straight up and squeeze my shoulder blades together on each rep. Today's going to be a kind of lighter day. I think all my sets are going to be in between 10 to 15 reps. Try and maintain good form. For my first superset, I'm moving on to a dumbbell row. I like to make sure that weight goes all the way down and stretches out that muscle in the back. This one, you really want to make sure you're trying to keep a neutral spine all the way from your butt up to your head. I can tell my head is leaning down a little bit. I wish that was up straighter. There, that's a good view to see that neutral spine. Again, my head's a little low, but I do go on to do both of these lifts 3 to 4 times. For the sake of the video not being too long, we're just going to show you one set of everything. Now I'm going to move on to a side bent over barbell row. Not a very traditional lift. Most people haven't seen this one, but I really love it. It really helps isolate my top rhomboids and my traps. It's a lot lighter weight. The weight isn't very heavy on this one. So you're going to bend over just like that, strap up and pull right up to your chest, trying to really isolate that rhomboid, rear delt, and trapezius muscle. As you can see from that front view, at the bottom, it looks like my back is really stretched out, and at the top, I pull it up nice and high without using too much core. My core doesn't twist, but my back is moving up and down. I'm going to go ahead and superset this one today with lat pull downs. Very traditional lift, but I'm going to try and show you how to do it in perfect form. So I'm going to lean back slightly, a nice wide grip. Go all the way up, all the way down to my chin, pull right to your chin. And when I go all the way up, you want to focus on keeping your shoulders down. So as you let the bar rise up, you don't want to let your shoulders rise up out of their socket. You want to squeeze those elbows, focus on squeezing your elbows and pinching your lower lat. You should be able to feel it throughout your whole lat. Alright, now I'm going to move into an isolateral low row. I really love this one to hit my upper rhomboids and some of my traps, but really squeeze the shoulder blades together and get those rhomboids in between, in the middle upper portion of your back. When I let this one go all the way out and then focus on squeezing all the way at the top, there's no better exercise for me to feel it up there. Alright, I'm going to superset this one with really the same exercise, but using a barbell and a little bit different grip, a more neutral grip. On this one, I really like to bend over the front of the weight and pull with those rhomboids. If you stand back more straighter up and pull your elbows back, it hits your lats a little. But this one, I'm trying to lean over the weight and use my upper portion of my back, as you can see in this view. Alright, for my last little tricep for back, I'm going to go lighter. And I put 2 handles up on the lat machine, sit reverse, and lay back to where your back is on the knee pads. This one, as your hands start together and you pull down towards your chest, really helps. It's a lighter exercise that hits my lats pretty well. If I'm pulling your elbows right down by your sides, that's what makes it hit your lats. I'm going to superset this with my absolute favorite exercise for lats. Again, not a very traditional lift. I put the rope on the barbell row area, pull it back all the way back to the back, and rest my knees on the edge of the pad. And then I lean over the bench. It's very important to really lean over the bench and not be sitting up. You want to almost be parallel to the bench. And then let the weight come all the way out and stretch your lats, and then pull your elbows right by your sides. You really feel this one stretch your lats and your teres major actually. For the last exercise of this little tricep to finish my back workout, I'm going to take the regular lat bar, bent lat bar, put it on the cable row, and do a nice wide grip upper row. As you can tell, today I focus more on my upper back and my rhomboids and my trap area as opposed to my lats. I really love this one. This one's a lighter lift to really squeeze your shoulder blades. Hits the rear delts too. Again, I only think this is like 100 pounds, not very heavy. It's more focused on form, sit straight up, and pull right to your chest. Now I'm going to move on to a couple bi exercises. For the first one, I've put 2 cables down by my side. I'm going to take a couple steps out and let my arm angle actually go back behind me. When you let your arm angle go back behind you, you're trying to hit the upper portion of that bicep. I'd be sure to keep weight on each arm as I'm going. I'm doing 2 reps with each arm and then switching to the next. Because as you come down and then hit it again before it rests, I really feel the burn a lot better doing 2. Then I move on to superset that with the complete opposite lift of letting my arms go out in front of me a little bit to try and hit the lower head of that bicep, closer to the elbow. Same style though, 2 each arm and then moving to the next one. A good, slow, controlled motion. And I go on to do both of these supersetting for at least 3 to 4 sets. Now I move on to a dumbbell curl. I'm going to switch at the top, so a supinated curl, and then I'm going to come to a pronated curl inwards towards my body. Kind of like a hammer curl. I'm going to switch every rep. And I do this for anywhere from 26 to 30 reps, depending on how I'm feeling on that set. So that's anywhere from 13 to 15 an arm. Now I'm going to move on to a drop set. I have 2 10s on a bar. Trying to go nice and slow, good form, not rocking your back. I'm going to do a set, and then without taking a break, I strip 1 10 off each side and then go right back into it. This one you really have to decrease your weight because that no rest really takes a toll. It's a lot harder than it looks, I tell you. Not to mention I'm getting towards the end of my workout and my arms are starting to feel pretty fatigued. As you get to the super light one, the last one of the little drop set, you really want to focus on form. Now I'm going to move on to my last bicep workout. I'm going to do a cable curl. As you can tell, the cables are out to the outside of me, right above my head. and I'm going to pull in. This one I like to go really slow and really think about the contraction of the muscle. Especially since it's my last bicep, you're kind of more on the more fatigue side and you really want to hit the muscle not as with much weight, but more of a controlled speed. Last thing I'm going to work on is my rotator cuff. I try and do this at least 3 times a week to keep my shoulders healthy, and that way I'm not feeling any pain when I'm doing chest flies or shoulders or anything like that. So there's 4 different exercises for the 4 different rotator cuffs. That one was internal rotation. This one's external rotation. You want to keep that elbow right by your side and focus on only twisting your upper portion of your arm or your humerus. This one, like a fancy name, would be a lateral abducted internal rotation. Otherwise, your arm's just out to your side and you're rotating your humerus forward, not really moving your elbow. You want to keep your elbow right where it's at, not move it up or down. That one went up a little bit, but right about there. There you go. Now we're going to reverse that and pull back. Same scenario, it's out by your side, 90 degrees, and you're just rotating backwards, just trying only to move the upper portion of your arm and isolate that rotator cuff. This one should be done with very minimal weight. I like to only use an elastic band or a 5-pound dumbbell on these. I see people like loading the cable machines up and doing these really heavy, and the rotator cuff is such a fragile muscle, you just want to work it lightly. And that was it for my workout. I'm going to go on and have my aftershock shake. I really love it because it has, has your carbs, has your creatine, your glutamine, your amino acids, your protein. It's kind of all in one package. It's my go-to product. Thanks for tuning in to Alpha Nutrition TV. I've been your host, Jordan Benson, and this has been one of my back and by workouts.